Ohio State just landed a massive commitment. Five-star forward Anthony Thompson is heading to Columbus.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in, Buckeye fans, to a bonus episode of Locked On Buckeyes, which is your daily Ohio State podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, veteran sports talk host, delivering passionate coverage about your Buckeyes. And during this hardwood huddle, we will discuss if Thompson's commitment is a program-shifting move for the Buckeyes. But first, just a day ago, it was something that was on my radar once again that a basketball player, a five-star prospect, was going to announce his commitment on Tuesday, and the Buckeyes were in the final group of schools that he might commit to. Indiana and Kentucky and even Michigan were all in the mix to potentially land a commitment from five-star small forward Anthony Thompson, and ultimately the talented player stayed home. Anthony Thompson is currently playing basketball at Western Reserve Academy in Hudson, Ohio, a native of Lebanon, Ohio. And when you're able to get a young man like this, sitting at 6'8", 205 pounds, that can score at every single level to commit right now, it's a big win for Jake Diebler. Not only a big win for the recruiting side of things, it could also lead to more excitement leading into what could be a special year for Ohio State basketball. I'm not saying it will be. I know in football we said it should be special. We're in the midst of a very special year so far for the Buckeye football team. For basketball, it's more of a could. There's a lot of talent on the Buckeye basketball team, but you're just not sure if this is going to be a year like last year or it's going to be a year like what the Buckeye said, say 19 years ago. I'm not sure. But when you get a win like this, the players on the team currently see it, and they want to continue to play and raise their level of play so the Buckeyes can land more top-end talent like this. Thompson is the number 8 prospect in the class of 2026. He is the number 1 player in the great state of Ohio, and that is another big win. He's also the 3rd player to commit to the Buckeyes so far in this cycle. The other 2, 4-star point guard Marcus Johnson out of Cleveland, and then 4-star power forward Alex Smith out of Prolific Prep in South Florida. Thompson's commitment is big, and I went back and started to read what scouts were saying about him, and 247 Sports scouting director Adam Finkelstein had this to say about Thompson, quote, leans back into a high release that is virtually unblockable with very little separation, end quote. And I think when I read that, that is something that is also very clear when you watch him play the basketball. But it also reminds me a little bit of Deshaun Thomas, as Thompson and Thomas are both lefties. And I had the privilege to watch Deshaun Thomas, I think, once when he was playing high school basketball. My uncle invited me to Fort Wayne for a holiday tournament. That's where I was born. And we went up there, walked into Wayne High School, and I saw Deshaun Thomas play. And the first thing I realized was, homie's 6'8". He got a good size, and nobody can block a shot. And I think he may have had 20 or 25 points at the end of the first half. And there was one shot I still think about right now as I'm talking on the show. And it was a shot at the top of the key, a 3-point shot, where when he rose up, nobody could even get close to blocking the shot. And that same thing is something I think about when it comes to Anthony Thompson, as his wingspan is something that is hard to miss. And his skill set, being able to score at every single level, is something I think Jake Diebler is going to be able to tap into and will help him develop. Thompson, that's the word. Thompson's wingspan is 7'3", and so that versatility, him being able to defend on the perimeter and also be able to be an elite offensive weapon, is something I think Jake Diebler is not only going to have fun coaching, but also lean into when it comes to finding more people on the recruiting trail. You may want to find a big man, as I do believe, as I mentioned this earlier. Alex Smith, the young man playing out of South Florida that's already verbally committed to Ohio State, he's 6'9", 195 pounds. He is more of a stretch 4. He's not a traditional big man, but if you see a traditional big man out there that has a 6'10", 6'11 height, that has the frame and size that Diebler wants in the program, he can even be a guy that can hit you at every single level as well. But if you get a big man like that, getting Anthony Thompson in the program now is a great recruiting tool. Massive, massive recruiting win for Jake Diebler. Man, that's under fire by some people. He's getting a lot of criticism thrown his way right now based off the way the team played last year. And people are still wondering if he is the man to lead the basketball program. Well, as all of these negative comments are being thrown his way, Diebler is still working hard and grinding to build the Buckeyes 2026 recruiting class to be the best it could be. Currently, it is the third ranked recruiting class in the country. If it's top 5, it's great. If it goes any higher, it's even better. What's even better is where this commitment ranks as far as some of the big-time commitments Ohio State has had in the past 25 years and what it could mean for the future of the Buckeye program. We will discuss more about this after the break. This episode is brought to you by Wayfair. The holidays are going to be here before you know it, which is exciting, but getting your home ready for guests and celebrations can feel like a lot. Wayfair has everything you need to get your home holiday ready, from Christmas trees and wreaths to bedding, cookware, and outdoor inflatables. It's your one-stop shop for every room in the house. Wayfair makes it easy to personalize your home for the holidays with a huge selection for every style and budget. And with free and easy delivery, even on the big stuff, you can get everything you need without the hassle of huge delivery fees. I recently ordered some new holiday decor from Wayfair, and it completely transformed my living room. The wreaths and throw pillows instantly made the space feel warm and festive. Get organized, refreshed, and ready for the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. This episode is also brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Guys, we're in the midst of another fun, exhilarating NFL season, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love how FanDuel gives me so many ways to play. I've built parlays, tried player props, and even follow the live lines during games. It makes watching football even more exciting when you've got a little something riding on the action. Whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes a game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. This episode is brought to you by Game Time. Guys, we're also in the midst of another exciting college football season as well, and I couldn't be more excited. The tailgates, the rivalries, the energy in the stands, there's just nothing like it. But let's be real. Actually getting tickets can feel like more of a battle than the game itself. Endless queues, hidden fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's why I use Game Time, the app that gives the advantage back to fans. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets at the best prices. What you see is what you pay. I pulled up Game Time, and in just a couple taps, I saw amazing deals. I'm talking about your favorite college football games as low as $25. The app made it super simple. I could even see the exact view from my seat before buying. I love zone deals too. Pick the section, Game Time picks the seats, and you save big. So take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. Thank you all for tapping into this bonus episode of Locked on Buckeyes and making this show a part of your day. This show's a little bit different. We don't normally do hardwood huddles in the middle of the day, but when there's a 5-star recruit committing to Jake Diebler, we're going to try to get this out to you as quickly as possible. I got a hat on. Your boy's not rocking a hoodie for this show. Things are a little bit different, just like this commitment, because Ohio State's recruiting on the basketball side, it's not full of 5-stars. And it's one thing to get a 5-star here or there, but when you get one entering your 2 for Jake Diebler, you want to look back and see how this stacks up against recent recruiting to kind of understand how big this recruitment is. Via 247 Sports composite rankings, Anthony Thompson's grade is .9974, nearly perfect. And he becomes the 4th highest rated prospect the Buckeyes have landed since 2000. Greg Oden committed. He was a perfect prospect, 1.000. BJ Mullins committed, 0.9989, and then Jared Sullinger also 0.9983. Just to add a little bit more excitement and maybe enthusiasm surround what Jake Diebler has done right now with this young man, you can't be upset with what he's done. You can't be upset at all because he came into a really weird situation. And I like Chris Holtmann. I think he's a very good person. I think he's a good coach. I think at some point at Ohio State, his ability to coach those guys in this program, in the environment, just wasn't the right fit. Now he has gone to DePaul. I don't think he'll have the success that he had at Butler because he was coming off of the Brad Stevens era and a couple other coaches that were taking the path of Butler to higher levels, not so much the NCAA tournament Final Four, but keeping that program up. Hoping did good things at Butler, didn't do things as great at Ohio State and started to fall off. Diebler walked into that and didn't allow the situation to derail his confidence at all with coaching the team or on the recruiting trail. And I don't want to say this is a program shifting commitment because that's a very, very big thing, but this is a start. If you are able to land a guy that's inside of your state this early in your coaching tenure, boom, number one kid in the state, coming to Ohio State, massive, massive win. Now, if you're also able to get a guy that's a five-star kid, number 8 guy in the country to land, that's a bigger win because the Buckeyes landed Devin Royal, who was the number one recruit in Ohio in 2023. That's big too. Buckeyes also landed Dorian Jones in 2025. So they are doing some great things inside the state. But to go national with it, if Diebler can recruit, I don't want to say he's going to be a Ryan Day recruiter, but if he can get close to that, the Buckeye basketball program will start trending in the right direction in the way you want it to go. Nobody likes watching Buckeye basketball when they are struggling to put up 70 points and struggling to defend every single night. You don't want to watch that kind of basketball. It's not fun. It's not exciting. That doesn't fill the stands in an arena that is the largest in the Big Ten. That doesn't do anything. It causes a lot of frustration. It causes headaches. The coaches aren't getting a lot of sleep. The players are frustrated because they're going to class and people are wondering, why do y'all keep losing? That's not great. But if you can keep stockpiling more guys who are the top players in the state, as well as getting more guys that say they're top 20 in the entire country, that's how you can build and turn the tide of a program that should be one of the better programs in the country to being one of the better basketball programs in college basketball. Great job by Jake Diebler. I can't say anything bad about this at all. I can't. And I have been very critical of Jake Diebler since he's been at Ohio State. But in the midst of criticism, in the midst of a lot of bad comments being thrown his way, Jake Diebler keeps them blinders on. He keeps working, he keeps grinding, and he's working hard and working so hard, he's landing a massive getting a massive recruiting win like this. Indiana, nah. Kentucky, nah. The Wolverines, sorry for you. The Buckeyes landed the number 8 player in the 2026 class in Anthony Thompson. You know what they say? The best in Ohio. Stay in Ohio. Thank you all for tapping into this bonus episode of Locked on Buckeyes and making this show a part of your day. Your next listen, your second listen of the day, should be Locked on Big Ten because Craig Sheeman is a man that breaks down the most exciting conference in the country. The conference race, the race to the championship, the race to the playoff, and everything in between. Craig is your man. Tap into Locked on Buckeyes and Locked on Big Ten on the YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow me on any social media platform at jstevens07. Send every email to jstevens317@gmail.com. This has been Locked on Buckeyes on a Tuesday. We'll see you next time.